The world was changing, though most people didn't see it. In the shadows of banks and governments, trust was quietly crumbling. The financial crisis had shaken faith in the old order, leaving behind anger, fear, and a hunger for something different. And then, in 2008, like a ghost leaving no footprints, a name appeared: Satoshi Nakamoto. No one knew if it was a man, a woman, or a group hidden behind that mask. What mattered was the gift they left behind: a white paper. Just words on a screen, but words sharp enough to cut through centuries of financial tradition. It spoke of a new kind of money, one that lived not in vaults or government treasuries, but in a world built of math, code, and consensus. This was Bitcoin. Not a coin of gold or silver, but a currency bound by cryptography, verified by computers across the planet, beyond borders, beyond control. The paper described a system where no bank could hold your savings hostage, no government could print away your future, and no middleman could take their cut. Instead, every transaction would be recorded on an open ledger, one that anyone could see, but no one could alter. It was radical. It was dangerous. It was freedom wrapped in code. The world didn't notice at first. A few dreamers, hackers, and outsiders whispered about it on obscure forums, mining coins on laptops worth less than a few cents each. The mainstream called it a joke, a fad, something destined to collapse like a house of cards. But slowly, something started to happen. A man in Florida traded 10,000 bitcoins for 2 pizzas, and though the deal seemed absurd, it was the first spark of a fire that would grow far larger than anyone imagined. The blockchain, that endless chain of digital blocks recording every move, began to expand, unbroken, unstoppable. Every time a miner solved a puzzle, every time a transaction was sealed, the system grew stronger, more secure, more alive. And with each passing year, belief spread. From online communities to dark markets, from libertarians to technologists, from rebels to visionaries, the world was beginning to take notice. Governments looked on with suspicion, bankers with disdain, and yet curiosity stirred. This was not just an invention. This was an idea that could not be unthought, a technology that could not be unseen. Like the first lines of fire traced in the night, it promised to change everything. Still, behind the glow of the code, there was mystery. Who was Satoshi? Why had they created this? And why, after setting the system in motion, did they vanish into silence, leaving behind a treasure that would be fought over, worshipped, and feared? The stage was set. Bitcoin was alive. And the world, whether ready or not, was about to feel its tremor. The tremor became a roar. What began as whispers in the dark corners of the internet spread like wildfire across continents. Bitcoin's price, once dismissed as a joke, started to climb. First a few dollars, then hundreds, then thousands. Every spike was met with disbelief, every crash with laughter from critics who swore it was over. Yet like a creature that refused to die, it rose again, stronger each time. People began to see not just a currency, but a revolution. For the first time in history, ordinary people held money that no government could freeze, no bank could seize, no border could contain. Behind closed doors, the powerful grew uneasy. Financial titans who once scoffed now gathered in secret, asking how a string of code could threaten empires built on centuries of trust. The answer lay in the blockchain, an unbreakable spine of truth, stitched together by millions of strangers across the planet. No king, no president, no banker could bend it to their will. The network belonged to no one, and to everyone. That was its greatest strength, and its greatest danger. The story twisted further when new voices entered the stage. Innovators, dreamers, and disruptors, inspired by Bitcoin, began to build their own digital realms. Ethereum opened the gates to smart contracts, programs that executed themselves without lawyers or courts. Ripple promised to move money across oceans in seconds. Thousands of new tokens appeared, each claiming to hold the future in their code. It was chaos. It was genius. It was madness. Fortunes were made overnight, and fortunes were lost by morning. And yet, the movement only grew louder. Ordinary investors, once powerless, now became players in a game that had always been reserved for the few. A teenager with a smartphone in one corner of the world could move wealth as easily as a billionaire in a glass tower. It was intoxicating, it was terrifying, and it was unstoppable. Governments scrambled to regulate, some embracing it, others banning it, but none could kill it. The genie was out of the bottle, and no law, no decree could force it back inside. Meanwhile, the question of Satoshi lingered like a shadow over every trade, every coin mined, every speech on television. Billions of dollars in untouched bitcoins sat locked in wallets tied to the vanished creator. Was it one person? A team? A government experiment gone rogue? The mystery was a story within the story, a ghost haunting the world of finance. And as people argued, invested, and fought, the truth remained hidden, fueling the myth even further. The suspense was not just about who started it, but where it would end. Would crypto become the foundation of a new world economy, liberating billions from broken systems? Or would it spiral into chaos, a digital gold rush destined to collapse? The answer was unwritten, waiting in the blocks yet to be mined, in the mines yet to be inspired, and in the battles yet to be fought. The revolution was no longer in the shadows. It was here, alive, pulsing through wires, glowing on screens, carried in whispers and headlines alike. And for the first time, the world realized money would never be the same again.